This is Mastering Mathematics with your teacher, Karen Weston.
Good evening. Hope you had a good night last night and that you're more relaxed parents and realize that, yes, it was not your fault or the headache your children had or they were crying because they didn't understand what they had to do with our factors. So we're trying to make it right, trying to make certain that the lesson is at a pace that they can do. This is another in the series, Mastering Mathematics, a program sponsored by the Ministry of Education using its EBU unit with our Mathematics Center and ABS Television. Remember that we are here and you can come now and you can get help in terms of the problems that we'll be having for mathematics. Students, you know too that yes, you can go to the website. Okay, so we have our website www.masteringmathematics.info. We also have YouTube, and you know that you're going on YouTube to get Mastering Mathematics. You can email us, and we know it is Mastering Math without an S and the H at ebu@gmail.com. We will be here, and of course, you can call anytime. My number is 783-6971, or even the Ministry of Education, and we will be there to address your problems. Again, today we are going to bring to you something that I know that you have a lot of heartache over, and that is the vexing question of having to hear people tell you that your children do not know their timetables. Okay, they do not know their timetables. Okay, any exercise book that you would have bought for your child, one of the good things as a consumer that you do get are the tables on those books. Let it be a family affair. Let it be fun. So I say to people all the time, even if you want them to sit and learn table, make certain you're having them writing it out and putting it somewhere. That will take them into learning by association. So you're going to say, oh yes, I know my 2 times table. When I was walking to church, I learned that. So again, or you will say, Daddy did not come early for me one day, so I sat down and I was learning my 5 times table. Okay, so give them that sort of association that they can know. Or you may be saying, because I'm sure if your parents these days, as what my parents used to do, Saturday mornings, you'd be getting up to wash your socks and your ribbon and getting ready for Sunday. So those are the things to over that bath when you're washing with your little hand, because I don't believe everything goes into the washing machine. You can be learning your tables, okay? And let it be a fun experience. What I want to show you is how easy you can get, because we are going to be dealing now with all ages, because even at 5th form, we are having people who are saying there's difficulty in learning tables. I want to tell you, if you have the basic 2 times, 3 times, everything else stems from that. Why am I saying this? Let us look at the 2 times table, okay? So we can go down and you can say 2 times. 1 would be what? 2 times 2 would be what? 3 times 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it is 9. And these never give us anything down here. 10, 11, and 2 times 12. Okay? And we can get our equal. I want to put the 3 times over here because I'm coming back to tell you something about that. So if we're going, it is 3 times 1, 3 times 2, 3 times 3, 3 times 4, 3 times 5, 3 times 6, 3 times 7, 3 times 8, 3 times 9, and 3 times 10, 3 times 11, 3 times 12. Okay, now I'm going to tell you why I'm putting these on the end here, because I am saying to you again, what we want to teach our students are the relationships between numbers. Relationship between numbers. And what are you telling them? We're saying if we know our 2 times table, it is easy for us to use our answers to get our 4 times table, okay? And to use our answers from our 4 times table to get our 8 times tables. 8 times tables. 8 times, okay? So, what are we giving you? We are giving you a package. So they're not just sitting and just learning table in abstraction that you're going, okay, you know, your 2 times, go and do your 3 times. No, you're giving them an association in terms of relationship between numbers, okay? Because what do we know? 2 times, so what is the relationship between 2 and 4? All right? And we can see right away that 4 would be 2 times 2. Yes? And then we are saying, what is the relationship between 4 and 8? And we can see right away that again, that 4 again would be 2 times. 8 would be 2 times 4. Okay? So the 2. And we're going to see what we're talking about. The 2 times 4. You would see how much fun your child is going to have learning tables. You will see the fun because you have made it now an experience for them that they are going to say, what other numbers can I group together like this and say it is 2 times that number to know my tables? All right? And you can see. So if we did the first one in terms of 2, it would be 2 times 1 giving you 2. That's 4, that's 6, that's 8. And this is 10, that's 12, that's 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, and 24. All right. Now, if we took the long method where you're saying that your 4 times table, because these are for the big children, I'm telling them to say right away. 4 times 1 would have been 4. Okay, 4 times 2 would have been 8. 4 times 3 would have been 12. 4 times 4 would have been equal to 16. 4 times 5 would have been equal to 20. 4 times 6 would have been equal to 24. And 4 times 7 would have been equal to 28. 4 times 8 would have been equal to 32. And 4 times 9 would be your 36. And 4 times 10 would be your 40. And 4 times 11 would have been your 44. And 4 times 12 would have been your 48. Can we look at those numbers and see? So can you see when you're saying, what's the relationship here? You're saying 2 times 1, that's 2. 4 times 1, that's 4. What's the relationship between 2 and 4? Okay, it is 2 times that number. We're going again, and you're seeing 2 times 2 would give you 2 times 2 would give you 4, and you're saying 4 times 2 would give you 8. Can we see the relationship between those numbers? Okay, and you're going with your 6, and what are we getting? We're getting 12. You're going with 8 with your 4, and you're getting 16 with your 4. And we can come down the line and you can see, okay, it is 10, and you can see. So all you're saying, you know your 2 times table, and 2 times 2 would give you 4. So we know our 4 times table. So if you're sitting down and you're saying, somebody's asking you 4 5s, you don't know. But what do we know? We know 2 times 5 would give us 10. And 4 would be 2 times whatever 2 is. Isn't that true? So if we know that answer, then you can just quickly multiply it by 2, because you can normally say 2 times 10 would give you 20. And we get our answer. So teach them to see the association between numbers, okay, between numbers. And you're going to see what fun, because what we're talking about these days in mathematics is not sitting and learning these things by rote, but really examining, constructing, and seeing why the operation is like that. Seeing why the operation is like that. So we're not only just giving them numbers either, just to be building blocks, but you can see that showing them the relationship, that they will soon say, I get the hang of it, Mommy. I know what to do. If I know my 2 times table, then I can get my 4. And of course, I'm going to leave the 8 for you to tell me about that the next time. What did you notice when you did that? And you have to do those for the 3s. So I want you to go with 3. I want you to go with 6. So in terms of grouping them, the 6 and your 9. Okay? And see what happens when we have our students grouping numbers like that, and see how it becomes. Okay? Now, every student delights in learning 11 times table. That doesn't give them any problem. And the 10 times table too, because they will tell you right away that they're just adding a 0 to the number. And that is because the number, if we're looking at our 10 times table, the number speaks for itself, because it says no units, because we do that in terms of ones. It says no units, okay, but we want one group of 10s, okay. So then it says you write the number. If you gave me 7, we know we want a group of 7s, and you're writing your 0. So it's not because you're just adding a 0 to the number, but there is an operative thing and a concept that goes with it. Because of the place value and what the number says, we can do that. So you know right away, your student knows 10 times table, 11 times table. All right, no problem for that. And just as I'm telling you about your tables, I'm going to give you a little time to absorb what has happened and to say, wow, yes, we can. Okay, so you can be either walking somewhere, making certain that by association, you can get them and saying, right, let's have fun. Try and challenge them. Give them a little treat to see who is finishing. Don't let it just be a bore that is something that we do and put between our books and then close them, and that's the end of that. Let us teach them how to discover the relationships between numbers. You deserve a break. I'm sending you on one now. When we come back, we will just talk about some things just to make certain that you understand that mathematics is something that everybody can do and can learn.
If you know the answer to a question is incorrect and you cannot find the mistake, start over on a clean piece of paper. Oftentimes when you try to correct a problem, you continually overlook the mistake. Starting over on a clean piece of paper will let you focus on the question, not on trying to find the error. Always read my problems completely before beginning any calculations. If you glance too quick at a problem, you may misunderstand what really needs to be done to solve the problem.
Don't look on what I cannot do. Focus on what I can do. I may not say what I do, but I can hear and feel it as strongly.
I may not hear, but that does not and should not affect my ability to learn and to function in the real world.
I am a gifted student. I need the opportunity to soar. Support me in my climb to higher levels of learning.
Some of our children have special educational needs. They have a right to an education. So let us teach them the way that they learn and help them to achieve their full potential.
Okay, we're right back, and then today, yes, we were looking again. Yesterday we started it in terms of factors to say exactly what is involved with finding factors and how we're going to make certain that our student grasp the concept and what is involved in terms of finding factors. Because it lies between boundaries of first and a second number, we have got to be careful and make certain that we choose numbers that are associated with the age limit of our students. Do not try in one session, or even if you're going to be doing it the same week, because I would have thought that your multiplicative exercises should have preceded your factors, okay? And even if we're going to make them do multiples, take some time in the classroom to see that students understand what is to be done. Every mathematics topic that we want to teach our students, we have to give them practical definitions or a working definition in terms of word, or you can do it practically to show them exactly how that is achieved. But you cannot just turn a page and says, okay, it's a workbook. This is the exercise, and so we're going to use it. You have got to make certain that the concepts to go with that exercise is understood. We also have to know that homework is given to reinforce a concept that was taught in school, that you as a teacher, you are sure that the students understood, and so now you just want them to take some home to reinforce the concept. Do not send them home with something that you know they don't understand and think that mommy or daddy will have to do the work. It is not fair. And please remember to give the students some time to play. Our students are in classes sitting from 8 o'clock until 1:30. Then they're looking out for a parent, or they're walking home, and then you're going home to another dose of homework. What sort of life, what sort of things are we telling them about the world? So please make certain that homework does not dominate the entire night for that student. So the next thing they're going to be doing, getting into bed, and then you're getting up again the next day and you're going. No, school must not be a drudgery affair. It must be something that they're eager and looking forward to. So let us limit the amount of homework we're giving them to take home. Test them, yes. Ask them what was done in school that day. And teachers in our classroom, start making certain you're giving them that writing exercise too. It cannot be just for the English teacher. Communication and language is a big part in the mathematics classroom. Make certain you have them writing a little something about a lesson that you would have taught. Teach them to start that mathematics journal. And it is from that you're going to understand if some of the things that you taught them, if it went over just as you wanted it to, or if the students understood anything. So we have been dealing then with multiples, with fractions, and we did our laws, because we say in terms of mathematics, we have to have our laws. Now, when I saw some of those exercises that students were doing, they were actually doing something like they were telling them 16 times 1 would have been equal to 1 times 16. Now, do not just say, or let the students think, oh yes, that's just writing the fraction back to front, the number back to front. Tell them immediately about the law. Let them learn the names, all right? This would have been following what we are calling our commutative law. So it is no longer assuming or giving students any wrong idea of what things are. Okay, it is following a law that we are calling our commutative law. Next week, we're going to get back on part, because we said, first of all, that we are going to be doing the number theory, and then we would have been proceeding into the computation part of it. And the first thing that we're going to be dealing with is another type of number. So we're going to leave the whole numbers, and we're going to get into when we start sharing things. All right? Because, you know, some of us will tell us God says to share. But we also share things too with our numbers. So we're going to be taking you into that part where we start talking about different fractions. Okay? Have you heard that name before? Yes. So again, we're going to revisit that concept of the numbers and look about them and say, what do we do when we divide things? Do we have a name for it in mathematics? And yes, we're going to be delving into the world of fractions. Now, for our people in our primary schools too, I know that we are looking about projects, and teachers, I am going to implore you to make certain that your mathematic project is going to be related to something in the environment. We don't want you to use it for a remedial measure so that it is going to be a theoretical affair. Let them get the mathematical concept and start seeing where in the environment, where in their little world, what could be done and how can we use that mathematical knowledge to build something in the environment. So next week, we will be getting back now to doing our hard work. So get prepared, come organized, because we are going to take you down in a lane where we will be now dealing with computation. And the first part, we know that we have whole numbers, we know we have all the other different types of stuff, and we are going to meet fractions and to say what is their role in the whole field of mathematics and what we can make of it. Remember, small dosage, not large doses. Keep on practicing, because mathematics is a subject that the more you practice, the better you will become at it. It is not something for rote, but it is something that everyone can learn. Again, we will continue to do our part and to see that we make certain that mathematics is a doorstep experience for you, and that in the end, we in Antigua will be mastering what we are calling a weakness in mathematics. So, with these few words, with everything we have spoken today, we are looking forward to take you again on a challenge and on a journey to learn some more mathematics. Notice we're not stressing anything about an examination situation, because it's not just an examination situation. It's an aspect of where we're teaching you how to be good mathematicians. And we are going to make certain that you have the tools and the technique to take you there. When the exam comes, it will be an application of what you have learned. So let us continue to pray for our nation, pray for the people who have the whole aspect of education at heart, pray for the government and all teachers who must make sure that the students in our institute become the citizens that we want them to. So from us here at the Ministry of Education, using its EBU unit, this is Karen Weston saying, do enjoy the rest of the week.
Join us next time for another in the series, Mastering Mathematics, a production of the Education Broadcasting Unit in the Ministry of Education and ABS TV.